Welcome. Today we are looking at C.R.E. paper 1, KCSE 2012. We start with the questions. Question 1a. Identify 6 literary forms used in the writing of the Bible. B. State 4 reasons why the Bible had to be compiled into its present form by early Christians. C. Outline 6 ways in which Christians in Kenya use the Bible. Question 2a. Describe the covenant ceremony between God and Abraham in Genesis chapter 15 from verse 1 to 19. 2b. Identify 4 differences between the Jewish and the traditional African practices of circumcision. 2c. Give 5 reasons why church leaders take vows before starting their mission. Question 3a. Describe 6 ways that King David used to promote the worship of God in Israel. 3b. Explain 4 life skills that Elijah used to fight against false religion in Israel. 3c. What problems do church leaders in Kenya face when carrying out their work? Question 4a. Give 4 reasons why Prophet Amos was against the way the Israelites worshipped God. 4b. State 6 ways in which God would punish Israel for her evils according to Prophet Amos. 4c. How does the church in Kenya punish errant members? Question 5a. From the call of Jeremiah, identify 8 qualities of God as found in Jeremiah chapter 1. 5b. Give 6 characteristics of the new covenant foreseen by Prophet Jeremiah. 5c. Give 6 ways in which Christians can assist victims of disasters. 6a. Describe ways in which people in traditional African communities communicate with God. 6b. Give 8 reasons for singing and dancing during initiation ceremonies in traditional African communities. 6a. Give reasons why witchcraft is feared in traditional African communities. Thanks a lot for subscribing. Marking scheme. Question 1a. The literary forms used in writing of the Bible. Poetry, wise sayings, prose, letters, legal expressions, songs, prophetics, gospels, philosophical essays, prayers, and sermons. 1b. Reasons why early Christians had to compile the Bible into its present form. The eyewitnesses of Jesus Christ were being killed to prevent information from getting lost, due to the expansion of the church, to counteract false teachings, to ensure that the same doctrines were being taught in all Christians, to reach out to the Jews in diaspora, to preserve an orderly account of biblical themes. 1c. Ways in which Christians use the Bible in Kenya today. Christians read the Bible for spiritual growth. They use it for instructing converts. It is used as a textbook when teaching Christian religious education in schools. It is used as a resource material in search of general knowledge. It is used to compose Christian hymns. It is used in taking oaths. It is used for preaching evangelism. It is used to explain Christian ethics. It is used to produce Christian literature of Christian magazines. Question 2a. The covenant ceremony between God and Abraham. Abraham was in doubt about the promise of a son. God assured him that his son would inherit him and not Eliza of Damascus. God showed Abraham the stars and confirmed that his descendants would be as the stars. God asked Abraham to bring him a heifer, a she-goat, a ram, each 3 years old, a dove, and a young pigeon. Abraham cut the animals into halves and arranged the halves in 2 rows. The birds were not cut. He drove away the birds of prey that targeted the carcasses. At sunset, Abraham fell into a deep sleep. God spoke to him, giving the promise that his descendants would be slaves for 400 years, but he would set to liberate them. Abraham was promised a long, peaceful life and good old age. Abraham saw God pass through the carcasses in a form of a smoking firepot and a flaming torch. And God reaffirmed to give Abraham land. That is Abraham and his descendants. 2b. Differences between Jewish and traditional African circumcision practices. It is for boys only in the Jewish community, when it is for both boys and girls in some traditional African communities. In Jewish community, it is done on the 8th day, while in traditional African communities, it is done during the adolescent stage. Its purpose in the Jewish community is to identify with God's people, while in traditional African communities, it is to promote one to adult life. Among the Jews, the practice was commanded by God, while in traditional African communities, it was done in obedience to the ancestors. The rite is not seasonal among the Jews, as in traditional African communities. In traditional African communities, it is a gateway to more responsibilities, while among the Jews, one is too young for any responsibility. 2C. Reasons why church leaders in Kenya take vows before starting their mission: to receive God's blessing, to get acknowledged from the people being served. It reminds the leader to stick to the church regulations, to get the authority of God to lead. It gives the leader courage to do their work. It shows one's commitment to serve, to emulate the biblical way of commissioning servants of God. Question 3a. Ways used by King David to promote the workup of God in Israel. He brought the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem. He made Jerusalem a holy city where Israelites from all over the land came for important religious occasions. He compiled the Psalms, which were used in worship by the Israelites. He showed respect to the prophets of Yahweh. That is, he listened to their messages. He wanted to build a temple for God, but he wanted to, or you can just say, he made preparation for the construction of God's temple. When he made mistakes, he asked for Yahweh's forgiveness. He sought God's guidance in whatever he wanted to do. He entered into a covenant with God. He built altars. Question 3b. Life skills used by Prophet Elijah to fight against the false religion. Assertiveness. He told Ahab that he was the cause of trouble in Israel. Creative thinking. He conquered the contest between the prophets of Baal and himself. Decision making. He killed the prophets of Baal. For self-esteem, he was convinced that God was on his side. Negotiation. Elijah asked the Israelites to choose between God and Baal. Did you understand? Kindly let me know in the comment section below. We'll continue with KCSE Paper 1 2011 Part B tomorrow. Thanks a lot for subscribing and listening to me. God bless you. Welcome. Today we are continuing with KCSE Paper 1. That is KCSE Paper 1 2012 Part B. That was question 3b. Life skills used by Prophet Elijah to fight against false religion. Assertiveness. He told Ahab that he was the cause of trouble in Israel. Creative thinking. He requested a contest between the prophets of Baal and himself. Decision making. He killed the prophets of Baal. Self-esteem. He was convinced that God was on his side. Negotiation. Elijah asked the Israelites to choose between God and Baal. Conflict resolution. Through the contest, he convinced the Israelites that Yahweh was the true God. Effective communication. He explained how the contest was to be carried out to the people. Self-awareness. He knew that he was the prophet of the true God, and that's why he had confidence in himself. Question 3c. Problems faced by church leaders in carrying out their work. They receive threats from their opponents. They lack financial assistance. There is lack of cooperation from church members. There is rivalry among the leaders. They may not be good role models. They may suffer from long separation from their families. There is misinterpretation of the biblical theology from different sources. Greed for property. They may be posted to hostile working environment. There is political interference in their work. They may lack adequate skills for carrying out their work. Permissiveness in the society. Corruption. Rejection. Question 4a. Reasons why Amos was against worship of God in Israel. The Israelites had neglected God. They practiced insincere worship. The worshippers were not righteous. They mistreated fellow Israelites. They worshipped God as well as Baal. They were very impatient during the worship ceremony. That is, they wanted to go back to their businesses. They gave offering as a show. They had many ceremonial festivals. They showed disrespect to the name of God through sexual immorality. They defiled the place of worship. That is, they drank wine in the worship area, building high places for the gods and worshipping other gods. 4b. Ways in which God would punish Israel for her evils according to Prophet Amos. An enemy nation would surround Israel. The Israelites would be taken to exile. Amaziah, the priest, would die by the sword. The holy place of worship would be destroyed. The land would be occupied by a foreign nation. There would be hunger for the word of God. God would cover the land with total darkness. There would be earthquakes. 4C, how the church punishes errant members. The church suspends them. It denies them participation in church activities. They may be denied leadership positions. They may be publicly condemned. They may be warned. Some may be transferred to difficult areas. They may be sacked from the job. They may be excommunicated. Payment of fines. 5a. Qualities of God from the call of Prophet Jeremiah. God is the creator. God knows every person by name. God is a planner. God is holy. God punishes evil. God is just. He is caring. God is merciful. God is universal. God is a protector. He is powerful. He is beyond human understanding. He is everywhere. 5b. The characteristics of the new covenant foreseen by Prophet Jeremiah. The laws would be written in the hearts of men and women. Every individual will know God individually. It would be an everlasting covenant. There would be suffering for one's sins. God would forgive their sins. It would be established after God's punishment to Israel. It would establish a new Israel. It would be initiated by God. 5c. Ways in which Christians can assist victims of disasters. By donating food, clothing for them. By providing shelter for them. By settling them in safe areas. By offering guidance and counseling. Through healthcare. By reuniting them with their families. By providing financial assistance. By taking preventive measures against future disasters. Through visiting them. Praying for them. Preaching to them. 6a. Ways in which people in traditional African communities communicate with God. They make sacrifices to God. They dance for God. They say prayers to God. Through invoking God's name, they give offerings through burning incense. 6b. Reasons for singing and dancing during initiation ceremonies in traditional African communities. The song informs the participants of the history of the community. They provide an opportunity for the members to socialize. It diverts the initiates' minds from the impending pain. The songs teach participants important moral values. Through singing and dancing, the members exercise their bodies. The songs encourage the initiates to face the challenge. It exposes those with leadership qualities. They are used to mark the various stages of initiation ceremonies. It is a form of prayer for the initiative. Singing and dancing is a form of entertainment. Reasons why witchcraft is feared in traditional African community. Witchcraft leads to death. It is the work of evil spirits. It leads to poverty. It involves cheating. In some cases, people are forced to leave their homes. It can lead to breakup of families. A person can be punished. Witchcraft causes suspicion. It leads to underdevelopment. It can cause physical injury. It can cause embarrassment to an individual. It leads to breakup of families. Did you understand? Kindly let me know in the comment section below. Also, let me know what video I can look at tomorrow. Remember, part 1 of this video was done yesterday. Kindly look at yesterday's video. Thanks a lot for subscribing and listening to me. God bless you.